Welcome back, True Seeker. It is May 2nd, 2024, and one of the top stories tonight, the Arizona governor signing the bill that ends the 160-year abortion ban in the state of Arizona. And of course, 2 years ago today, May 2nd, 2022, the big news story was abortion. It was the Samuel Alito memo leak that foreshadowed that Roe versus Wade would be overturned. And if you're following all the work we were doing back then in 2022, talking about news by the numbers, how rituals unfold that keep people locked in a divide. Again, this system that people are so invested in that they've been taught to believe in by authorities, it plays games with them every single day. And they are meant to tug at the heartstrings, making choosing red or blue come election day, like it's going to make a difference. But look, you guys, the 160-year abortion ban being overturned is symbolic because when a baby is being developed in the womb, the high end of its heart rate in the time it's just growing is a little thing like the size when it's the size of a lime in the mom's belly. Its little itty bitty heart beats at a rate of about 160 beats per minute as it's developing. And that's the high end of the spectrum of the developing fetus. And again, that happens before 15 weeks. So now the state law is after 15 weeks and abortion's illegal, but it's around like 10-week mark that commonly the heart rate of the baby would be around 160 beats per minute. And think about today's date, May 2nd, 5-2 or 2-5, the way you'd write it, the fifth month, second day, or second day of the fifth month. In Gematria, the Kabbalistic practice of coding numbers into words, the hidden numerical sequence behind the English language. The word heart equates to 52 when you use the alphabetic order. So you get that by taking, for example, H is the eighth letter using the alphabetic order. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, E is 5. So H is the eighth letter, E is the fifth, A is the first, R is the 18th, T is the 20th. You add it together, heart equals 52. How does it equal 25 then? Same thing, but you use numerology. So H is 8, so it's 8. E is 5, so it's 5. A is 1. It's going to change it R. R is the 18th letter. In numerology, 18 is 1 plus 8 is 9. So R becomes 9. T, the 20th letter, becomes 2 plus 0 is 2. So T is 2 instead of 20, and R is 9 instead of 18. So you get this smaller number. Heart equates to 25. And those methods will always break down to the same single digit. You can see heart, 5 plus 2, 7, 2 plus 5, 7. But yeah, what a date to pay tribute to a little developing baby's heart in another divisive politically based numerical ritual to again make people take sides. Republican, Democrat. Arizona's this state that's changed in recent years, at least so the voters are told, with Democrats taking office. How about that one they had for political theater? Kirsten Sinema announcing her retirement by the numbers. It's funny, before she was even in there, we were teaching this knowledge back then and saying why she was a shoo-in to be a politician in Arizona for her district. But yeah, this heart thing. Back in 2022, we were talking about how they kept attaching all these different green things to abortion. Billy Joe Armstrong of the band Green Day was, saying that this is overthrowing of Roe versus Wade. He said that he was going to renounce his American citizenship. Green Day. If you are paying attention, there was a lot of green stuff going on, just people in green, protesters in green, green signs. If you look into chakras, the heart chakra is aligned with the color green. That's not something I'm making up. Just look into the 7 chakras. You'll see that the heart chakra is the green one. So think about that too. Just using this occult knowledge ritualistically right in front of people's faces, and they don't catch on, but they do allow their hearts to be played with. And some people tonight probably feel like just so outraged and upset and angry. Some people probably feel like killing the other political opposition. They can't believe it. They can't stand this. Again, some people are very passionate about abortion. They think this abortion's just right there with murder. And I mean, there's an argument for that, but then there's also another side where, things happen. A young girl's raped. She's not ready to bring a child into the world. Again, we've been talking about this, but my point is the way this nation plays games with us, the media and the government. And again, you just follow the breadcrumbs. It all starts to make sense. This whole thing of letters and numbers, Gematria comes from Kabbalah. Freemasonry is based in Kabbalah. DC is known as the Masonic City. Many of the founders were Freemasons, and the clues go on. And you study more modern Freemasonry is a Jesuit creation. We're on a calendar given to us by a Jesuit priest named after the Pope that's on a 52-week year, ritual after ritual with the Pope. Pope has that Gematria 52. Today is 137 days after the Pope's birthday. That's a huge number in Washington, D.C. Again, this goes on and on and on. The Jesuit motto, Isus Hominum Salvator, equates to 266. Pope Francis, the first Jesuit Pope, the 266th, spoke in Washington, D.C. on the 266th day of the year. So again, for the person to say, well, who's doing this? Again, there's your answer. There's a reason the architecture is all Roman. And the capital moved to D.C. where the Jesuits set up camp. And they moved Inauguration Day to January 20th, a special day only to the Jesuits. But yeah, what a sick game. From Katie Hobbs becoming the 24th governor of Arizona, and then this big ritual for the state in 24. From the day she took office, January 2nd, 2023, to today is 69 weeks later. Just for the record, look at how in Gematria abortion ban equates to 69 and 48. Arizona is the 48th state in order of statehood. We were talking about how yesterday was the Illuminati's birthday, and they were having the big ritual with this. Now the governor signs off on it today, one day later. Dotting the I's, crossing the T's, pulling the heartstrings. Again, this system is wicked. And people know it is. That's why they even tell themselves. They say, well, I'm just voting for the lesser of two evils. And, since I was a kid in here, and I was like, that doesn't make sense. You shouldn't be voting for anything evil. I was going to keep voting for evil things. Check this out, guys. The 77th Cannes Film Festival is upcoming. Starts later this month. Starts on Israel's birthday, in fact, May 14th. Goes through May 25th. That's interesting because that's the 145th day of the year in a non-leap year, May 25th, and 14/5 is how you can write May 14th or 14th of May. Like there's 145 more chapters in the Catholic Old Testament. Catholic equals 145, and Old Testament's Jewish, and Israel was set up in a big Catholic Jesuit ritual on 14/5. But anyway, it's the 77th annual Cannes Film Festival. And in light of it being Israel's birthday, Judaism equals 77, so does Zionist, so does theater, so does United States. The nation's capital is on the 77th meridian. Donald Trump is 77 years old right now. And one of the films that they're going to premiere at this Cannes Film Festival is called The Apprentice, about Donald Trump. Remember, The Apprentice is the first degree of Freemasonry. Freemasonry equals 58, like Trump won the 58th election. But look at the actor they got to play Trump, Sebastian Stan, SS. And August 13th is his birthday, 13/8. Many a 138 rituals with Donald Trump. The Misfits have the song We Are 138. Federal's also 138. But then it's possible that this film premieres May 23rd, the 144th day of the leap year, or May 24th, typically the 144th day of the year. That's the day in 2017 that Donald Trump, Jesuit educated, posed with Pope Francis, the first Jesuit Pope at the Vatican, after stopping by Jerusalem for Jerusalem Day. But remember, Sebastian Stan, this actor, 144 like Jesuit order. This year, the election on Guy Fawkes Day, special to the Jesuits, is 144 days after Trump's birthday. President Biden's 144, Jesuit educated like Trump. Again, Georgetown simulated he would win June 12, 2020, 144 days before the election that year. And then Biden did win. And then The Apprentice, the hit line was "You're fired," which has the 144. Notice the first three were all when you ran the alphabetic order forwards. "You're fired's 144 when you run it in reverse. That's Trump and the Pope. May 24th, 2017, the 144th day of the non-leap year. Again, RFK Jr. got in the race 144 days after the Superior General's birthday. His father died at 1:44 a.m. His uncle JFK died 144 days from meeting with the Pope. Kennedy curse has that 144. Kennedy alone has that 78, like Trump's about to turn 78. And there's 78 cards in the tarot deck. And they're the Trump cards. They're the top 22 cards, and that leaves the remaining 56 cards, like the election's on the day, leaving 56 days left in the year. But yeah, this guy's resume of films is interesting. Films and shows. It's probably worth a deeper look. But yeah, 77th cans, while Trump is 77 years old, a very significant number. There's a number of other things that are interesting that can be said about this. You can read my additional writings on my post if you want, but it's probably just easiest to keep the parallels right there. Again, I know a lot of people, you give more than one number, it becomes deer in the headlights. How are they going to keep 77, 138, and 144 straight all at once? I don't know, man. To me, it's just like, it doesn't seem that hard to do. Anyway, again, just to recap, we covered this earlier. Today is the 47th day of Stormy Daniels being 45 years old, and her former attorney came out and said, oh, no, that was not hush money. The guy who received the money said, oh, no, it wasn't hush money. So big win for Trump in that regard today on the 47th day of Stormy's age, when it's always a new 47 with Donald Trump, as we've been talking about for years, like since 2015. Now he's running on Agenda 47. He's been doing all the 47 rituals of Truth Social, just everything. 47 days without a post on Truth Social. But yeah, the hush money on the 47th day of her being 45. And remember, her lawyer took the stand on the 45th day of her being 45 years old, which was the Church of Satan's birthday. And again, it was the White House Correspondents' Dinner on that same day, years earlier, April 30th, 2011, the 45th birthday of the Church of Satan, 45 days from Trump's upcoming birthday, that Obama joked that Trump would be the next president, thus number 45. And then Trump ran on MAGA, which is the highest degree of the Church of Satan. Look it up. MAGA is the highest degree of the Church of Satan. The fifth degree, and again, DC does have a lot of fives, doesn't it? The Washington Monument's 555 feet tall. The Pentagon's five-sided, 5 acres. Court in the middle, 5 floors above ground. Again, what's up with all the 5? They gave Donald Trump a break so he could campaign on the Illuminati's birthday. Wasn't that nice? It was the 248th birthday of the Illuminati, and Donald Trump got a break. President Donald Trump 248. Focus on Columbia University and all the orchestrated chaos at the universities. Highly symbolic. Just like how the Illuminati was founded at a university. You know, we always talk about how the Illuminati was founded by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt, and how the Jesuits love the numbers 54 and 72 as they do. Remember, the word school equals 72 and the word university equals 54. Talked about why they did what they did at UCLA today on 5-2. We'll recap that in a second. But yeah, also just regards to the whole Illuminati connection, Illuminati, Donald Trump, Hollywood, gag order, Alvin Bragg, indictment, all 48. Hollywood, like Reagan, is Donald Trump. The numbers are language. Again, this ritual goes down with Trump not being guilty of the hush money charge isn't going to follow through. But again, the charges are all for show. They're all charges equals 34. There's 34 of them. It happens during Passover 34, on and on and on. There's a lot to it, but it's all been high ritual. But again, this ritual on 5-2, the 47th day of Stormy's age, the 5-2 date, look at how 4752 go with president authority and government and White House. Talked about these things a gazillion times. And it's 47's big with the courtroom too. One more time, Donald Trump put in more federal Supreme Court or federal judges than any other president in history. The attorney who testified today and said it wasn't hush money, Keith Davidson, 60, like how the upcoming 60th election will be this year, November 5th, 2024. Can Donald Trump, Alvin Bragg indictment, all the other way are 60, forwards 48, reverse 60. Hush money's 115, like the date of the election, November 5th, 11-5. Trump took office with the 115th Congress, on and on and on. Hush money's got that 34 too, going with the 34 charges. So that's the top headline, and it's sinking, you know. That's the big one, and today it just got popped. Nope, wasn't hush money. So Again, it's theater. It's literally political theater. It's divisive propaganda. It's high ritual. It's people that are in a club. It's a big one, and we're not in it. And yeah, they are in places of authority, including judges. It's how they pull off the show. It's very obvious. Secret societies, money, these things can be clearly controlled as they are. Plus, TV is a very controlled environment. I mean, people work in those TV lenses, they can make sure things stay on the wrap. In case you missed what we said the other day about the raid on Hamilton Hall at Columbia University, 56 years to the day of the raid on the anti-Vietnam protests. Again, 56 is a super special number. See the work I recently did on what happened with Ilhan Omar's daughter at Columbia in 56, what Obama being the winner of the 56th election and being a Columbia grad had to do with it, what the Shirley Chisholm 56th anniversary of her becoming the first black congresswoman had to do with this. But what we're talking about all these things before they raided Hamilton Hall on the 56th anniversary. And we've been pointing out how 1968, 56 years ago, was this year of years, year of assassinations. 911 made the national emergency dialing code. World Trade Center construction began in New York. Coronavirus was coined. Fentanyl was approved by the FDA. Fentanyl, COVID, wars from 9/11, like the biggest killers of the 21st century by far, all those things in 68. But now the media started doing after this, they started going, oh, 1968, whoa, that was a bad year. There was assassinations that year, crazy political protests. So Hamilton, he got in a duel over politics and was shot and died a day after being shot. Who Hamilton Hall is named after, Alexander Hamilton. He died by shooting. And this building was gifted originally by John Stuart Kennedy. And as far as I can tell, he's not a relative of JFK and RFK, but a part of me is wondering, I'm thinking, well, at least they got the same damn surname. But yeah, like we talked about the other day, Alexander Hamilton died 220 years ago from being shot. 220. Donald John Trump equals 220. And years ago when he first ran, he had an assassination scare on November 5th, reportedly in the headlines in 2016 in Nevada, if you want to look that up. November 5th, 2016, assassination scare for Trump. And then before that, there was the hoax of the Trump tombstone in Central Park in New York. What the Simpsons did with the Trump and the presidency and the dead Donald Trump. Again, we're getting to a magic moment for Trump. Tarot cards, there's 78 of them. He's about to turn 78. Order out of chaos is 78. Jesuit 78. Special number is 78. John Stuart Kennedy, by the way, who gifted that hall, his name is 78, just like Kennedy's 78. So yeah, if this is all the script, and it's just like if you're watching a movie and you know it's scripted and there's already a planned outcome, it happened long ago, but you're seeing it for the first time. There's clues along the way, and sometimes you can see exactly where what you're watching is going to end up. And we've been able to do that several times over the years in the last decade with news and sports. Doesn't always end up that way, but you can see the parallels here. You can see the parallels. The media is even calling them out for you now. We've been talking about it for a while, which to me is a sign that we are following the right path. Sadly, I mean, I wish we weren't. Again, this UCLA crackdown, first thing this morning, the police go after the encampment at 3 a.m. Seems like a strange time to do things in the dark. But May 2nd, right? 5-2. California 52, like government, like Gavin Newsom. And like I said before, you want to add to that list, it's Nancy Pelosi and a whole lot more of these government tycoons. Other words with 52. President, White House, authority, Kabbalah, Gematria, Tree of Life, Etzah Chaim. That's the Jewish word for Tree of Life. All these things are related. Again, there's a reason there's 52 cards in the deck and 52 weeks in the year. Special number, just like what we started with the abort. Again, all of this stuff isn't meant to have an impact on us. Again, it's all part of these ancient mystery religions. The idea that everything carries a vibration, every letter, every number, every shape, every sound, and those vibrations have an impact on people. And if you understand how the vibrations work, you can use them to have influence over others. Think about a society that has no clue about any of this and how they might be being influenced by people who are masters at this. But yeah, on this 2-5 or 5-2 date, it's also 205 days after Gavin Newsom's birthday, and that's the big Israel number. And these were the anti-Israel protesters that got wasted by the police in the night, came for them in the night. And yeah, watch the longer video I did on this morning, but this could be predictive programming because this happened in Los Angeles. Remember, RFK Jr. had an assassination scare last year in Los Angeles. I think it was September 16, 2023, which was 263 days before June 5th this year, the anniversary of his father being shot. And 263 is the 56th prime, and his father was shot 56 years ago on the 5th day of the 6th month. Big pattern, 56. But again, the election this year is on the day, leaving 56 days left in the year. The formal title for the Jesuits, Society of Jesus, equals 56 and 187. The word Abrahamic, which is the word that represents the three religions from the Torah, that's 187 chapters long. Abrahamic equals 56 and 187. But today's 187 days to the election on the day leaving 56 days left in the year. And University of California, Los Angeles has that Gematria 187. So I'm just thinking, okay, RFK was shot in LA. RFK Jr. had the assassination scare story thing with somebody sneaking into a security detail last year, armed individual. And now this UCLA crackdown on a very specific date synced up with the election. And 187 can be fateful. I mean, ask Dr. Dre. You know, he lost his son 187 days after his birthday. Or Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who died 187 days after her birthday, died on Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, replaced by Amy Coney Barrett, the Catholic, in a big ritual. And then we were just talking about how they just paid tribute to that. How Amy Coney Barrett sided with the liberals on the recent abortion thing that the Supreme Court saw 87 days after her birthday when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died at 87. And again, justice equates to 87. So yeah, perfect day for a crackdown on the anti-Israel crowd at UCLA, perfectly synced again with Governor Gavin Newsom. Again, 205 days after his birthday, Israel, 205. And we were saying we got to look out what happens when The Rock turns 52. Today, The Rock turns 52. The celebrity, the former Miami Hurricane football player who turned WWE superstar, who turned Hollywood actor, everything else he's doing. Last year, what happened in Maui, the crazy fire that was just so bizarre and deadly and the focus, and then all of a sudden the media just stopped talking about it and everybody forgot about it. And the crime went unpunished yet again. But we were talking about how The Rock had just premiered the Moana live action film with an island bursting into flame, and how he plays Maui, the fire god, in that film, and how perfect the ritual was. 52 is a number of weather warfare historically. If you guys are new here, the first act of weather warfare was admitted to August 15th, 1952, the Lynmouth flood. And that's the Jesuit order's birthday. And the Jesuits served the Pope. And Pope's 52 like earth, like flood, like hurricane. Special number is 52. But The Rock turns 52 today on 5-2. And I just noticed that CNN had this up, this 7-minute and 20-second story today they had up. And it said this: nationwide, this is going to be an earthquake. Farmers struggle to cope with PFAS contamination. And I just thought, okay, that, because I was like, that is weird that they would just even put that together. Imagine what's already happened to insurance rates, right? Because of all the supposed unprecedented acts of Mother Nature, because we have not come around to dealing with this climate change. This is the narrative we're being told, while they're not telling us about weather warfare and what the military is doing for agenda in a big way on its own people, which is so obvious, from Paradise to so many others, to Maui, to so many others. We've been talking about just how they've been putting up headlines for years like targeted storm, bomb cyclone, nuclear hurricane. It's like, God, people forget there was like 50 years of detonating big bombs way up in the sky to see if they could enhance storms. I think they figured it out. But yeah, I was just thinking about this headline too, because the CNN has this up on The Rock's 52nd birthday, who they synced up like the biggest weather disaster of last year with, and now he is 52. But The Rock's in that movie, San Andreas, about the earthquake that like rattles half the nation. I forget, it's super exaggerated. It's like the earthquake. Does it go coast to coast? Maybe it goes coast to coast in the movie. I forgot. We just had the one on 4-5 on number 45's golf course. But yeah, that headline, nationwide, this is going to be an earthquake. Nationwide is an insurance company. The next sentence in that same story is farmers struggle to cope. Two of the major insurance companies, Nationwide's a major company, so is Farmers, so is State Farm. It's just they're figuring out all these ways to make everything so much more expensive for us, and insurance is a big one, especially for younger people. I just found out how much my nephew had to pay last year, and I was just blown away. I was like, God, because of his age, they make him pay that much in insurance, even though he doesn't have any claims or a wreck. Over 2,500 a year to drive in your early 20s, at least in this part of the country, but just everything, like, if just that's expensive, food's expensive, more and more reasons for insurance. So I saw this headline today, I was like, "Man, this feels like the next sick joke." Could be a future where they knock out some of these insurance companies fall off because it's just too much, and then there's less, and then there's less competition, and rates are even more drastically god awful. We got we got Amazon for everything. Package delivery, insurance, shopping. Oh my goodness. But yeah, the Rock 52 on 5-2, and based on what I saw last year in Maui, I'm thinking again, you had that Ryan Garcia guy who just won with the 5-1 odds. Congrats to the winners. You had the 420 upset special narrative. But remember, when he was getting all that attention, he said there's going to be a big earthquake June 6th. We'll see about that. But yeah, I do just wonder with The Rock turning 52. And then this too, you think about like one of the most famous logos online. It's that blue bird for Twitter that recently became an X. And this story here that just got national attention, an extremely rare blue bird was spotted in Oregon by Michael Sanchez on a Sunday. And again, the reason that stands out, Oregon is the 33rd state in order of statehood. Sunday is the only day of the week that has Gematria 33, and Michael is one of a handful of names that does equal 33, biblical name. Michael, the leader of the armies of heaven. The word bird has the Gematria 33, like in the NBA, Larry Bird wore number 33. Massachusetts has that 33 as well, like Kennedy. Only 3 of the states equal 33 in the most pure cipher, the alphabetic order of numerology, the first and the last, Delaware and Hawaii, and the 6th Massachusetts in the numerology of 33 is 6, and man's made on the 6th day, and people equals 33, like person, like society. And there is a reason that they like this 33 number. Again, masonry equals 33, like secrecy, like order, like federal. Police has that 33, the Fraternal Order of Police. At 3 a.m., the police go in on the protesters. But yeah, these stories, I just wonder sometimes. I'm like, okay, so this gets syndicated out there about the bird found by Michael on a Sunday. That could be the first ever in the United States, they also said. It's possibly never been here before. And something like, are they just like talking in some kind of code? Is it like a different type of flying object that's never been to the West Coast before? Like rumors of war. So that's the one thing about it. If they really are to have a World War III, the West Coast is probably the one that's going to get touched up the most. And I'll remind you, when we were on the lockdowns, Fox News, this is back in 2020 when they started the lockdowns for COVID, Fox News ran an ad for like 2 or 3 months that started right at the same time as lockdowns of play the game World War III, like some phone game you could download, and it showed the West Coast taken over by China. But at the time, I was saying, well, I guess it kind of makes sense because the biggest mainland population of Chinese outside of China is in San Francisco, the Jesuit stronghold. Jesuits been over there in the Far East since way longer than the U.S. existed. Gavin Newsom, years later, is finally cleaning up his city for China. Might just roll out the red carpet if they just shoot some blue birds over here. But yeah, if you want to look it up, there's also a film out there from over a decade ago. I believe it was the Heritage Foundation that produced it. It's called 33 Minutes. No, I take it back. It's called 33 Seconds. Or hold on, is it 33 minutes or 33 seconds? It's one of the two, but it's how long supposedly it would take for essentially World War to get set off if our enemies in the East fired missiles at us. And missiles, the plural, does have that 33. Hold on. I bet I have an old post on my old website. I just got to check real quick. 33 minutes. Let me see. Well, here's the New York Times 33 minutes of terror in Paris, but hold up. That's not what I want. Let me... It was called 33 Minutes. It's not up on YouTube anymore. I wonder if you can watch that anywhere online anymore, but yeah, it was about how 33 minutes. Let's see, Heritage Foundation. Yeah, they still have it up on their website. The 33-minute threat. Imagine being struck in a grocery checkout line for 33 minutes or in a traffic jam. Time would slow to a crawl, each minute feeling longer than the one before it. But consider the fact that 33 minutes is also how long it would take for a long-range missile fired from North Korea or Iran to reach the United States. Then you realize how short that span of time actually is. And then they got it all cooked up with Iran right now, too. It's all unfolding by the numbers. But yeah, sometimes I look at a story like this and I'm like, maybe this is what it's really about. Sounds like a whole lot of maybes that got this syndicated story. Maybe the first time ever here. So yeah, anyhow, that is the latest. And today's day 10 of Trump's trial, huh? May 8th will be the 201st day at Alvin Bragg's age. May 9th is 201 days after his birthday. But Trump had all those 58 connections. That'll be next week. I'm just seeing it. Wally, the emotional support alligator, once denied entry to a baseball game, is missing. You know, that's the thing I hate about these people too, that they do. I mean, just rituals with everything: animals, mascots. People are just wicked. Trump delivers pizza to New York firefighters. His base just loves that kind of stuff. Just these easy camera demos. Recently, him talking to the fast food employees at the Chick-fil-A, and then Biden trying to follow it up and performs terribly for the camera. It's just like, these are the things people are voting on. Oh, I like the way he interacts more with the fast food employees. I like that Trump eats McDonald's and gets people burgers and pizza. He also signs off on 6.5 trillion and goes along with the lockdowns from Switzerland, the land of the bankers, giving them 6.5 trillion in guaranteed interest profits over the next 100 years to keep them ruling our asses. So people don't get. All right. Shout out to Demarcus Butler. He says, Zach, you really inspired me to get back on YouTube after 6 years and keep exposing and get the knowledge out there. I appreciate that. I'm glad you're back out there. The world needs more people speaking out. Thank you for your generosity. And I'm going to assume your YouTube channel is Demarcus Butler, so I'm going to have to check that out. And yes, Amy, I know she's figuring out a way to take care of expenses right now, but no doubt, Amy, our good friend in the community, if you've still been thinking about passing the dollar on to Amy, Cash App is the way to get to her. $ Amy CTC. Amy, that's Charlie Tom Charlie CTC. Again, just if you ever been in a bad spot and you got there real fast and didn't see it coming, and you wish somebody was there to help you out with the dollar, that's where Amy is right now. And again, it's the dominoes that'll happen in a lot of our lives at some point. A health problem strikes, another health problem strikes another family member at the same time. They pass away, then you get a funeral expense on top, and all of this stuff is just way over. It's just so expensive at this day and age. Our ancestors, it wasn't like this for them. Didn't cost a fortune to have these things done back in the day. And there are reasons that things are different. I mean, there's so many bodies in the ground and so many funeral spots that they're rarer and rarer. But yeah, I mean, if your family member's wish was to be buried in the ground, I mean, to me, that's like a wish you should follow if you knew that that's what they wanted. Might be super expensive, but that's what they wanted. Anyway, shout out to Amy. Shout out to all the truth seekers. Thank you to everyone who hits the like and the share. And we'll see what they got. Interesting dates coming up, you guys. Again, May 7th will be the 128th day of this year. We talked about why May 7th could be very interesting. Again, the next day, May 8th, is the day that Alvin Bragg, it'll be the 201st day of his age. See where this trial's at. Could it possibly be wrapping up by that day? Got May 14th, Israel's birthday. This Cannes Film Festival thing. And of course, we got June 1st coming up. That's the long-time prediction. When Biden first took office, my suspicion was that Joe Biden would leave office prematurely at the tail end of his term, somewhere around June 1st, 2024. So we'll see. We'll see. Trope says, any updates on the 201 book? I submitted designs and I think it was runner-up or chosen. Let me know if you want me to resend. Happy to do new drafts. Again, I haven't been able to achieve what I want to do with the 201 book. And like I said, I have so many regrets for not just finishing what I've had written for so long, but yeah, I keep thinking as I look at my work that it just reminds me of my work in the past, which hasn't done well enough. So I have to figure out a new, better way to present the work. And years have gone by now working on this thing, but and the 201 book, again, right now I've actually even put that off to the side, and I'm just trying to master the idea of a group of children's books, and I'm trying to work on several at once to see if I can figure out a clever way to have a running theme and maybe a character and a storyline, because I realize a character can be good for a story. Because then people are familiar with the character, and then they're looking into what the next thing they're investigating is, what's the next thing they're going to solve. So yeah, and now that I got a little one on the way too, it's just it just makes me think, yeah, figure out how to present this and get more young people involved, because that's who the cabal's always targeting too, the younger generations. They know in no time the kindergartners of today are going to be 20 years old in the voting populace, and they know they got it planned out for the next 20 years what they can really do to their minds to mold them to where they want them to be, just so they can give up even more rights and liberties Again, that's what has to be undone. So it's like you gotta reach the people who are still reachable, which a lot of times is the young people, and help them not be taken advantage of by this system. And yeah, just the weirdest thing too, just organic synchronicities. Again, sweet lady came home that day and said the little baby's already got a heartbeat and it's 160 beats per minute. And I thought that was too high, but the doctor said that's normal. I was like, wow, that is high. And then next thing you know, the news headline was this is when the whole Arizona thing started, just recently, with the 160-year abortion ban. But that's how I caught that right away. I was like, wow, that's a common heart rate for, again, a developing baby. And yeah, if you got here late, again, today, May 2nd, 5-2 or 2-5. It's a lot like the Gematria of heart. And today, the Arizona governor signs off on the bill ending the 160-year abortion ban in Arizona when 160 beats per minute is the top end of a developing little teeny tiny baby. So it's unmistakable, the ritual. Again, DC's the Masonic city. They etch on the temple all his number. When Roe vs. Wade was overturned, it was on Freemasonry's birthday, June 24th. All right. And again, Amy, for anyone out there who has $1 for Amy, you've been thinking about it. Today is still a great day to do it. $ Amy CTC. Charlie Tom Charlie. Amy CTC. All right, we'll leave it there for now, True Seeker. And until next time.